read an article in Prevention Magazine about a woman in her 50s who'd been on antidepressants for a couple of months, and then something very tragic happened. Her husband was killed in a small plane crash. This left the woman in a great deal of grief and trauma. She said she's had this sense of hollowness inside. But she also said that she wasn't so sure that she was feeling everything she could. She was afraid maybe the antidepressants had numbed her up a little bit. She wasn't feeling the full sense of this sadness. So she made an interesting decision. She decided to stop the medication. She decided to stop the antidepressants. And at that point, she starts talking about what happened. The feelings came up in a very, very powerful way, much more powerful. She started feeling that sadness in a different kind of way. And it was through this that she blogged, she talked with people, and the feelings started flowing. Sadness is a part of being alive. Whether it's the profound sadness like our earlier example, or even just not getting the right lunch at the cafeteria. I mean, sadness is a part of being alive, from the small ones to the big ones. But science tells us something very important. If we want to get something out of being alive, we need to deal with our sadness, and by dealing with it, it gives us the benefit of being in the present tense and being alive in the moment. The fact is, we live in a culture that has a very hard time with sadness. It treats sadness as if it's something toxic, as if it's something we should get rid of and throw away. And sadness wasn't always like that. You know, if you go back to Chaucer's time, those people who ate and drank sadly did it with gusto. If you look at the root of the word sad, one of the roots is sate, or satisfy. And the definition of sadness at that time was fullness of heart. Fullness of heart. You know, that sense in your chest right before the tears come, that full sense that comes, that's there, and then the tears pour out. We've taken sadness and turned it into something that maybe it's not. And we can learn from Chaucer and folks that maybe there's a better way to look at it. But modern science has some things to say about sadness also. Joseph Forgas, an Australian researcher, has found some pretty interesting things about sadness. What he says is that sadness can actually improve our memory. He also says sadness improves our judgment. Sadness improves our motivation, and sadness in some cases can improve our interactions. There's lots of things we're finding that sadness is actually good for, and by moving into sadness, we move into being alive. As a caregiver, be aware of your own sadness, because when we're aware of our own sadness, it makes it so much easier then to see the path to healing for the people we work with. The point of this lesson is not to throw away your meds. The point is that sadness is an important part of being alive.